it since a toddler. I keep dollars on my head. Been a real one is my motto. Handle my problems, I ain't scared. I put powder on my collar, cause she proud of what I said. I'm a leader, I got on following my footsteps like the feds. I shoot like I'm Montana, chop up bullets, make them shit. Black on black, new phantom in the backseat sipping red. Bitch, I'm from Atlanta with these hoes ready to like pig. Condo like the pharmacy, I got codeine in my fridge. My bro on a steaming stove, cooking crack like grits. Got this vibe on a tippy toe, struggling in a pit. LA live, I'm staying at the lows with this Hollywood bitch. Got a 9 and a snub nose, can't wait to let it hit. Pull up with a stick, I pull up with a stick. I pull up with a pink toe, whipping, she sucking it deep. I put some diamonds on her toes, let her hold on to them reach. We was used to pulling kick those, you can still call it a leak. Broken can't be fixed, when the names is spent the nick. How you pull that don't make sense, I made a whole mile off an inch. I had 99 problems, I just scratch your heart for this. Got some amazing winnings, all on down my neck, cause quarter brick. I've been getting it since a toddler, I keep dollars on my head. Been a real one is my motto, handle my problems, I ain't scared. I put powder on my collar, cause she proud of what I said. I'm a leader, I got on following my footsteps like the feds. I shoot like I'm Montana, chop up bullets, make them shit. Black on black, new phantom in the backseat sipping red. Bitch, I'm from Atlanta with these hoes ready to like pig. Condo like the pharmacy, I got codeine in my fridge. Bestie, I just hit my friend, told her catch me. I'ma lick her skin, she so precious. Might not fuck again, she too messy, but hit and no flexing. Rose gold on a mess, drop 210, car game with no 10. You don't gotta, you the dough, you can hop in front of tip, boy, 9 in the vent, like by 9 and get spent. I got 2 B's on my bosses and a 30 in a bit. I know niggas better than million, still didn't tell 12 shit. I got skeletons in my closets and they scared of me and shit. There's Margellas under the bed, screaming rock me kid. I put water on my head and she got CC. Couple ops played dead and they still got hit. I done bent lil' mama's spine, but it still ain't my kid. Only reason I use my line is cause she drank my spit. No cap. I've been getting it since a toddler, I keep dollars on my head. Been a real one is my motto, handle my problems, I ain't scared. I put powder on my collar, cause she proud of what I said. I'm a leader, I got on following my footsteps like the feds. I shoot like I'm Montana, chop up bullets, make them shit. Black on black, new phantom in the backseat sipping red. Bitch, I'm from Atlanta with these.
Well, Jovan, the Orioles have now lost 7 games in a row. What a fucking joke. 15-31, more than 15 games under 500. You just got swept by the Nats. I haven't seen the Nats sweep a team, let alone the Orioles, I don't think in my lifetime. I'm all for reading a good book in the off season when your fucking feet are in the sands and you don't have a baseball game to worry about. Mid-season when you got a 6 ERA, fucking lock in, buddy. Put the books down. Grab a baseball. Hit the fucking treadmill, Trevor.
Of course, the Cubs are a team where if you give them like a single-pronged approach, simple approach with the plate, they can only key in on one pitch, which with Mick Abel is exactly what you have to do. They have been demolishing those pitchers every single time they see them. They ain't stopping now. I'm buying in. We're seeing a shootout.
320 feet. I could hit a ball that far. I mean, when do we normalize celebrating pop-ups? Aaron Judge, typical me guy move. Hitting a nuke there instead of just putting the ball in play. And look, he didn't make the dimensions of the park, but he decided to play in them, and that shit pisses me off.
I got too much to live, no time to forget. New chrome, yeah, I got this shit on my head. You grown, shit, no, I don't got time for this. Alone, you just wanna...
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 723 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by our 2 hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by SeatGeek. Jovan, got a quick question for you, my man. Easy, layup. If you're getting tickets this summer, where are you buying them at?
It's got to be SeatGeek, Krabs.
It's that simple. 2 words, chat, SeatGeek. Get involved, get your tickets on SeatGeek. Low fees. You can pick which tickets you want in your row, so you're not getting bamboozled. You got a promo code Bookit10. You get 10% off your purchase. It's that easy, folks. If you have not downloaded the app SeatGeek, download it right now before you forget. That way, next time you get tickets, you'll know to buy them on the best ticket purchasing app out there by far on the App Store or Google Play. W SeatGeek. W
Sure.
Jovan. W Reds Hats. Hope you had a good weekend. I know you cashed a golf future. Pretty crazy. I know it wasn't pre-tourney. That's okay.
No, I just had to ride. Had to ride with the Twitter
You
gang.
gotta take your guy. Pock eater.
Yeah, once I
Pock
saw
guider.
Kilkenny and a lot of other guys in the feed, him in first. If he didn't win and I didn't sneak coin on it, I would have been so pissed. or if he did win and I didn't sneak coin on it, I would have been so mad. So I had to ride with the gang.
Sure.
No way Daniels
Wasn't
really in Nom.
I wish it was longer. I wanted more playoff holes. That was electric.
Dude.
Don't even get fucking started. If
Welcome to
he
golf.
would have lost another playoff with coin that I had on him, not a single golf wager would have been placed again from me.
Oh,
He was always winning.
Just horrible.
my old roommate sent in a ticket. I'm going to pull it up real quick because I want to tell you the odds. He got involved with Pock Eater. And I don't know if it was pre-tournament, but I'm sure once we look at the odds here, we could figure it out. He had him plus 10,000. I'm assuming that was pre-tournament.
That had to be, yeah.
He put $10 on it to win $1,010. Think about that for a second. $10. You can't even buy lunch for $10 anymore in the Big 2-5. And he just made a rack-a-roon. Are you kidding me? What a call. And I know he follows our guy Kilkenny as well. He's pretty tapped in. Congratulations to my buddy Matt Robb, and congratulations to my buddy Kilkenny, our buddy Kilkenny, who's been on the show before, who cashed out for a little bit more than just a rack. He cashed out for $88,000 on this guy, Pock Eater. Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
That's got to be best bet of the year so far.
Has to be.
At least best bet of the summer.
Now I'm hearing from everybody who rode with him that this was like you couldn't make a better course for Pock Eater. What's the next event here?
Jovan's tapped in now. This is fucking awesome. He's like, I want to run this shit back. The next Rocket Classic.
Certainly do not want to run it back because this is Dream Course Fit and he's coming out of champion. I've seen when he has, because I've bet him so many times at this point. I've seen when he's bad. So if it's not a Dream Course Fit for him, we'll probably be fading.
Might have to fade him. I don't know how we do that. Maybe him to miss the cut. God, that'd be so evil.
Something has to be done.
So evil. Dave Martinez burner in the chat saying, I'll be fading him next week. Yep. Set those alarms, folks. Set those alarms. Yeah, 88 racks is insane. Agons. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Good for Pock Eater. Good for Jovan.
Over strokes is max.
It might have to just be the more than strokes. I'm sure they'll have a prize pick square up there, right? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Fat.
Shout out Kilkenny. Absolutely him. Shout out A. Herna coming in, resubbing as well, along with Baumgardner Jackson. W's, gents. What else we got to recap? Not my best PLL weekend. That's for sure. First losing weekends on the turf. Pretty impressive we made it this far. I'll be honest. 4 straight winning weekends. And then obviously not my best work. I think I went 1-2 this past weekend. And the main one that hurt was the Archers. Late night Archers, late night squad ride. We were all so excited. I got you guys all bought in. And they blew it. And they blew it.
Missed.
Jovan, this ain't your mom and pa's Archers.
No, they're missed.
It's not.
Really bad.
People are saying they've lost their fastball. Matt O'Keefe not ripping that like he used to. I mean, they're lucky Grant Ament was healthy for the first time in a while. He kept him in the game early on. Dobson, solid goalie, but even he let a couple squeak in late. I don't think the Archers scored in the fourth quarter. Brutal. Oh, this is a team that would be the clutchest, best team in the fucking league for the last 2 years. Ron knows. Doesn't help when Fields is playing hero ball all game. Oh, let him know, Ron. Let him know. Number one Archers fan out there. Brutal. And, of course, the Mariners cashed the pick 6. Of course they did. Golly.
That game was terrorism.
That game,
absolute terrorism.
Unbelievable, dudes. I cannot believe the Mariners won that game. Let's hop in a time machine to Friday. I mean, there was crazy defensive plays made by the Mariners. I forget who was playing short, but they were running to the foul line and almost to the net, making a crazy sliding catch to keep the Mariners alive. Gosh, man, of course they fucking won when we were debating between those two. But you know what, chat? That's okay. We got a chance to bounce back today and get a W in the squad ride column to close out the month strong. Let's do it. It's the only option we got. Not many games. It's going to be a quality over quantity type day. And yeah, Skywalker, you're fucking him. I appreciate you keeping track of all the Carfax, right? Trent hopefully firing up a surge stream today, and I can go 10-0. We'll see how it goes. Jovan, I literally went on a stream on Friday, and I said I would come on here typically At this point, I'd talk my shit. I'd say I'm him, and I'd give you my number one favorite play, and then it would fucking lose because it's a Friday. So I pivoted, and I gave him the Mariners instead of the Archers, and now look at us.
It's just
unbelievable.
A veteran approach from you.
You know what they call that? Call that a diversified portfolio. We already had enough eggs in the squad ride basket. I said, you know what? Let's switch it up a little bit here. Let's go with the baseball play on the surge. And look, today we're going to have to run back a baseball play as well.
Yeah.
Okay? We got some great games. Chat, tune the fuck in. Excuse me. We've got a legacy surge stream coming up today. I'm excited to pitch a winner. I'll come on at the end of the stream, and we'll see if we can go 10-0. Okay? Let's go ahead and recap the Sharp report from Friday, I believe, and see how we did overall. Jovan absolutely carried with the straight bet sweep. You're him. We should always be taking Jovan's plays on Fridays on the books. And I apologize for that lapse in judgment. The over in the Redwoods and the Outlaws was free as ma. That was a great game.
Ma. Great call from you.
Mariners, obviously, consensus quake. All I had to do was chirp and say that when we take the same play, it never hits. Next thing you know, it was free as ma. And then the Archers was cake, as you guys know. Okay? Cake. Mac O'Keefe, I don't know if that was a push. That might have been an out. I got to check the Carfax on that. But Logan Gilbert somehow did not go more than. And well, I know why. Yeah, he got mucked up. Yeah, I believe Mac O'Keefe only had 2 SOGs. That's on me, chat. That's on me. Okay? And yeah, shout out the Water Dogs. Yay, lads, they're back. They looked really good. And unfortunately, my Redwoods, they got exposed on homecoming weekends. They got exposed. 2 losses at home this weekend in San Diego. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. What else happened in the PLL this weekend? The Chaos beat the Cannons. The worst team beat the best team. Can't make that up.
Huge upset. Hashtag thank you, Trent.
Oh, he was so bought in. The most bought in I've seen. Can't make it up. Atlas have won 3 straight. Atlas are on fire. Don't let them get hot. It might be too late. I know we say this every year, but could it be Atlas here? Maybe. We'll see. They look like a well-oiled machine, but we're not in the postseason yet. Remember, guys, they're like the Yankees. When the lights get extra bright, when the games matter, it's typically when they fall flat on their face. So we'll see. Jovan, W Subbies coming in from T. Crizzy at the end of TMA. WTMA getting the day started today. And again, Bob Gardner-Jackson and A. Herna, you guys are him. Appreciate the subbies. Do we want to address this score? Or do we want to just
really bad? Really bad. Okay. I put that one on Kevin Cash, dude. He thought he was being so cute, taking Pepio out in the second because he didn't have it, but we had like nobody to throw in the pen for that game. So everybody just came and got mucked. That was awful. And then that fucked up the pen for the whole series.
I bet.
Not that it really mattered because blew him out and then couldn't score yesterday. But that was
good try, bud.
Decision.
Oh, there he is.
Huge. Moves the O's to 11 games under.
A series win, though, for the O's, correct?
Yeah. You got the series.
Okay. All right. Good. It's good to see you, my man. Hope you had a good weekend. What else do we have? Oh, the Nats should have swept the Angels. They should have. I don't know if you saw what happened in that middle game or just saw me bitching on the feet. Now, to be fair, if we pitched Finnegan in that middle game of the series, he would not have been able to close out the game last night or yesterday afternoon where he pitched 3 innings and pretty much saved the game for us, I'll be honest. So if they pitched him,
3?
He pitched 3 innings yesterday.
What the?
Nobody gives a hoot about it. Nobody's talking about it. Yep. Some of the weirdest coaching I've seen in my fucking life, dude. Let's go back to Saturday, okay? And correct me if I'm wrong, if my memory's a little blank here. Goots. We're not doing it, Goots.
You might have to do it.
Not doing it.
You might have to do
Nothing
it.
says next gen attitude like an organization for retired people.
Here's the thing, though, Goots. You know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about it. Next gen attitude. We talk about the next gen Nats. We talk about the prospects. We talk about the young guys. We talk about the prospect haul we got from the Padres. We talk about all these great prospects we got in the minors. We use this slogan, next gen attitude. We literally have a t-shirt that they gave out in the beginning of the season, next gen attitude, that had all of our prospects on the back of it. I wear it all the time. Cool shirt. Next gen attitudes. as we sign a deal with AARP. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. It doesn't make a lick of sense. Are they fucking trolling? I wish they were, but they wheeled out Ryan Zimmerman to fucking announce this earlier today with the, VP or the president of fucking AARP. He was there in DC. They were shaking hands doing a fucking jersey swap. Bro, I don't get it. This tweet could not make less sense. Next gen attitudes. And we picked the company that backs the geezers to sponsor us. We've been looking for a jersey patch for 3 years since they allowed this. We've been missing out on so much coin over the last couple of years. Even the Yankees, who were so traditional, they haven't changed their jerseys since the 1800s. Even they have a fucking jersey patch. So I'm in on the jersey patch. Let's make some coins, right? Our owners are fucking broke as shit. They're bankrupt. They got all their money tied up in Navy Yard, and real estate's not doing too hot in the big 2-5. They don't have any coins. They got to get their money up. But AARP, you know who signed off on this, Jovan? It's got Dave Martinez and your guy Jim Hickey's greasy old paws all over this shit.
No way they have a say in this.
Well, only thing that makes sense to me. Next gen attitude, all these young, cool prospects, and we got fucking AARP on their sleeve. Are you shitting me? Jovan, you know how many companies exist in Washington, D.C.?
A lot of them.
A bazillion. Literally a bazillion. HQs, big ass companies. Capital One got their HQ around. All these great companies, DC is a melting pot. People come here for work. They're from all over the place. All these companies are from here as well. You're telling me can't get somebody local, something cooler than fucking AARP? Unbelievable. Took them 3 years. 3 years to get a patch on the jersey. And this is what we settle with? They better be paying a pretty penny. Because that looks like shit. God. They're going to smack that on Nate Lowe's youth large jersey. What do you think that's going to look like with the old man who's got like 3 hairs on his head left right now? Takes his helmet off. Perfect representation. You're going to see him on the fucking AARP Instagram. Golly. I blame Jim Hickey for this. I think he signed off on it. I do. I think he signed off on it. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not even that mad about this anymore. I'm more mad about what the fuck Dave Martinez and Jim Hickey were doing over the weekend. Game of the year on Friday in the Nats series. 15-11, I believe, was the final score. If you missed it, you had to be there. It was actually
that game was ridiculous.
It was incredible. It was awesome. I mean, talk about juice baseballs. They must have had a couple extra from the Bronx, and they must have shipped them back over West Coast for that game. They hit them all over the fence. Game 2, a little more low scoring. Jovan, we're up 2-1 in the 7th inning. Cole Henry threw 13 pitches the day before. Besides that, he's pretty well rested. Jose Ferrer threw 10 pitches the day before. Besides that, pretty well rested. Both those guys could go again. We pull out the 3 worst relievers in baseball. Jovan, I don't even remember the third guy's name.
I forget how to say his name. It's fucking like Burkiski or whatever it is.
Goots, I need you to pull up my tweet. That has the picket box score.
He's legit.
When I tweeted out at the Nats beat reporters and I said, "Hey guys, do you mind asking Dave Martinez respectfully what the fuck he was doing putting these 3 gentlemen in here?" He put in Brixey, the Hokie, who, by the way, bless his heart, but he's the worst pitcher I've ever seen. He gives up a run every single time. Jovan, they put him in against Mike Trout.
Okay.
You want to take a guess at how that went in that first at bat?
Okay. Probably not well.
Home run.
Probably not well.
Home run. And then a double, and then a single.
Wow, big 3.
And then they put in Salazar, who, by the way, right up there, 1B, worst pitcher I've ever seen coming out of the bullpen. Worst. I don't know what the hell they're seeing with Salazar. They even sent him down to the minors and brought him back up. Didn't change a thing. He gives up a run every single time he pitches. Every single time. And then they put in this guy, Ludos. And I'm hearing Dan Coco on the broadcast talk about Ludos. This guy had a software job 3 years ago. and said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try out for an independent ball team. He made it, ended up working his way up into the minors, gets released. We pick him up off the fucking streets a week and a half ago. He is the worst pitcher I've ever seen in my entire life. What were we thinking? This guy was selling software less than 3 years ago. Literally picking up guys off the fucking streets in DC on the way to the game. I've never seen something like it. Jovan, we were up 2-1 before this inning. We had fresh arms. Shit, put in Finnegan in that spot against the top of the lineup, and you win the game. You're putting in Brixey. Guys, legitimately, if you think I'm kidding, go check Brixey's stats. He has given up a run every single time he's pitched this season. I don't know what they're thinking. Salazar, atrocious. Should be pitching for the fucking Savannah Bananas. Ludos, you better call your old boss back, buddy. You're going to need your fucking job back.
Horrible. Just horrible.
They gave up, what, 6 runs in that inning? Yep. So it went from 2-1 to 7-2.
Just like that.
Pega, we're not going to talk about Ferrer playing the saxophone and then giving up a grand slam about 2 hours after that. We're not going to go there. I don't have it in me. I can't do it, Pega. I can't do it. Also, the Savannah Bananas were in town. Obviously, the Nats are on a away stand right now, West Coast. Playing pretty solid.
Gone.
Well, the tickets were $400.
Yeah, they be taxing, dude.
They sold out Nats Park 2 nights in a row. Sold out.
We'll never understand it. I really won't.
I respect it, honestly. I respect it at this point. I know it's not my cup of tea. I don't enjoy watching it. I respect it, though.
It's a crazy business model they have going that works. Dude, so good for them. It's just I can never understand dropping $400 to see that.
Bro, they sold out Nats Park back-to-back nights. The Nats haven't sold out a fucking park since 2019.
That's because they got guys like Brixey taking the mound when shit matters.
We couldn't collectively sell out a stadium in a whole series at home, 3 games, or fill up as many people as the Bananas did in one night. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's like when I talked about the DC Defenders when the Commanders were terrible and they were still figuring out their shit 2 years ago, and they would sell out every DC Defenders team or game, excuse me. I'm like, the people are here. They're just waiting for the team to not be quail shit. It's that simple. As we get some subbies coming in here from Aherna, Nelly Nell, the Juice. Wow. Tariffs going crazy coming in, bringing in 5 subbies. Hell yeah. Keep those subbies flowing before surge. Come on.
People are talking that the Bananas actually do have a better bullpen than the Nats.
Yeah, the guy on stilts. I'd rather have the guy on stilts on the mound than Brixey. Straight up. I'm not even fucking around. I'm not kidding.
The guy on stilts.
You know who I'm talking about. The guy who's on those 10-foot stilts. And by the way, I'm still trying. Like, I will say that actually is pretty cool. I don't like the dancing. I don't like, some of the stuff. I don't like seeing the umpire, twerking. I think that's kind of fucking weird. The cutoff jerseys, I don't know. You know the market they're going after. They're filling seats. But Jovan, the guy on stilts, I want to give some credit. I want to tip cap. That is impressive.
That's the one that does it for you.
That I would watch the stilt guy highlights. Bro, they pulled out Wilson Ramos. Wilson Ramos had a more competitive at bat in the Savannah Bananas game than I've seen Keber Ruiz or Riley Adams have all fucking season. Can we bring him back? Shit.
Bring him back.
The Bull. Remember him? The Buffalo. The Buffalo. He had the coolest fucking double celly. I stole it, actually. I used to do it in high school. He used to go like this. The fucking Buffalo. He's a beast.
Hey, all-star Wilson Ramos. People forget. Man. Was an all-star with the Rays.
There he is. Oh, he hits too? No way. He's a two-way. He's like Shohei. They've got a Shohei on stilts. Are you kidding me?
How do you throw a strike to him? Oh, my God. Highest strike zone of the year.
That's a rocket. Look at him putting the ball in play. Aaron Judge could never. Hustling down first base lines. Fucking wheels, bro. He's also faster than Aaron Judge.
Yeah. He looks faster than a lot of guys. He's getting down to first base faster than fucking Junior does.
Look. Holy smokes. You better get back on base. Also, the Nats, I've never seen a team steal worse in my entire life. Gerardo Parra. Thanks, my man. Appreciate you, baby shark. Appreciate you. Never seen more guys steal a base and slide off the bag because they fucking slide so late. Dalen Lyle. Why are we stealing if every time we steal, you slide off the bag 5 feet past the bag and get tagged out every single time? What are we doing? Let's get back to the drawing board here.
Yeah, he's bad.
I blame Gerardo Parra.
He's bad.
Worst first base coach of all time. Oh. Yeah, that guy can literally start for the Nats right now.
Put him behind James Wood. Maybe James Wood ain't getting walked 4 times intentionally.
Never seen Aaron Judge get intentionally walked 4 times in a row. I got one more thing to say about the Nats as we get a hype train moving and grooving. I know you guys don't give a hoot, but I'm here to bitch. Slow day today. Not a lot of games. We got time. Oh, this Nats team. Every offseason, Jovan, they say some bullshit like, we're going to compete, we're getting better, we're not messing around. Things are thrown around like, this isn't a rebuild. Not a rebuild. It's been a 6-year rebuild. After the World Series, we haven't spent a single coin. The team fucking sucks. We're rebuilding every year. It's the longest rebuild of all time. Somebody call Guinness. It's going to be a 10-year rebuild. Never been done before. Mike Rizzo had a quote this offseason on the radio that really rubbed me the wrong way. He said, our goal for this season is to play competitive games in September. That's the goal. Jovan, what does that mean? Talk to people like they're 4. If you're playing competitive games in September, what does that mean? It means
you're in the playoff race.
Yeah, or you're at least close, right? You're making moves, you're hanging around, you're playing meaningful baseball games, right? You're playing games that matter to get you into the playoffs. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. How do you expect to play meaningful baseball games in September when you have Brixey, Salazar, and software salesman Ludos coming out of the bullpen? You got one lefty in the entire bullpen for the last 2.5 weeks, Ferrer, who spends more time practicing playing the saxophone than he does hitting the fucking corners. How do you expect to win games? It's a slap in the face to the starting pitchers because you could go out there and shove for 6 and it doesn't matter because you got Brixey coming out of the fucking bullpen.
Brixey. Gotta give him credit, though. Software salesman might not have panned out, but Home Depot worker has panned out.
Yeah, Brad Lord's good.
He's actually good.
Brad Lord's good. His arm's going to fall off his body. Every time we pitch him, he throws 50 pitches every 3 or 4 days. Once again, Davey Martinez is running his best reliever's arm into the fucking ground. I've seen this movie before. I saw it with Sean Doolittle, bless his heart. I saw it last year with Derek Law. He's still coming back from injury. They said Derek Law was going to miss 10 games at the beginning of the year. The guy's arm is a wet pool noodle. We pitched him every other day last year. It's the Davey Martinez way. Brad Lord's going to have to go back to Home Depot when he can't throw more than 89 because he needs fucking surgery. You can't just pitch Brad Lord 50 pitches every other game. Like, why do I know this shit? And the coaches who are paid millions of dollars who played in the major leagues continuously make the wrong calls, night in, night out. I don't get it. Oh, I'll give some credit. Dave Martinez got ejected and actually argued and cared for the first time in the entire season. Can we clap it up? Dave Martinez got his fat ass out of the dugout and yelled at an umpire for the first time this year. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Good for him. That's the first time I've seen him do anything all season. And there's been 10 opportunities to go out there and back his guys after terrible calls, after bad strike calls. He hasn't said a peep all year. Good for Dave Martinez getting off his ass and going up there and showing that his teammates, showing that his players, that he maybe gives a single hoot. Good for him. I didn't know he still had it in him. I really didn't. Good for him. Maybe that's what the boys need. Show some hearts. Goots, get Ron Rivera the fuck out of here, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, we got a hype train moving and grooving. Bananas have guys on stilts, and the Nats are sponsored by AARP. Alarming gap in coolness. Yeah. I'm taking Stilts guy over Salazar 9 times out of 10. Up there on the bump. Let's give him a tryout. Can't hurt. You're picking up guys who are working at fucking, Cisco, selling fucking routers just like I was. You're picking up those guys, and you're pitching them. The guy walked 2 straight batters in a row. I'm like, what were we doing in the bullpen? He walked in a run. It's the worst pitcher I've ever seen. Oh, it's so frustrating. If they were the Rockies and they stunk and they didn't have any guys or potential, I wouldn't give a shit. It's the fact that they're right there, man. You got generational players on your fucking ball club and you're wasting them. Wasting them. Oh. All right. Anything you want to bitch about?
No, I'm good. My team is not quite Moose.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to some winners for today, folks. We still got about an hour. Jake Irvin is Moose. Yeah, good thing I'm going to go see Jake Irvin pitch on Thursday.
Okay.
Great. It's Freedom Fireworks night. I got to go. Best night of the year. Tigers. SBR's Tigers.
There you go. He's going to pitch like a literal
Lights
ace.
out. Lights out. I'm happy you picked up on that. It's the weirdest thing ever. He got mucked up again against the Angels. Can't make it up after he pitched the gem against the Dodgers.
Of course.
Sorry, SBR. We got a Jake Irvin Cy Young start looming. Hell yeah. Bro, you want to know who's pitching for the Tigers that game or who's slated? We honestly need to talk about this.
Who?
I was looking up the MLB schedule, and I'll talk while I look this up because I don't want to botch it. So looking up the schedule, projected arms, of who's going to pitch on Thursday at Nats Park for Freedom Fireworks night. And I see this guy, Dietrich Enns.
Oh, yeah.
Slated to start.
Legend.
For the Tigers. And I'm like, Dietrich Enns? I've heard of this guy. He was a KBO legend for a couple years. And now he's back. He's 35. He's a lefty. Great. That means they have a chance. Honestly, we're going to struggle to hit him probably. He threw a freaking gem in his first start back, Jovan. He's been him this season.
Yeah.
Only one start. 5 innings, 1 hit. 4 Ks against the Athletics. Oh, God. Dietrich Enns might be him.
Timothy.
We got our hands full against a KBO legend. But I was like, wait a second. I've heard of this guy. I checked his stats. He pitched in the majors in like 2017, in 2021, and now 2025. He had an MPB stint. He had a KBO stint. Guy's been all over the fucking globe. It's like, I've seen this guy squares up for the KBO before. He's back. He's probably going to shove on Thursday. Give me the under in that game. I might lock that in early. Okay. Speaking of unders, got a couple no fun unders for you guys today. We'll start out with the first 5 under 4.5 in the Cardinals and in the Pirates game. Speaking of the KBO, Fetty Wap in that 4.11 ERA. Jovan, I've been utilizing Prize Picks to make a lot of my straight bets this year, seeing what's weird, what's not, especially for these first 5 wagers. And knock on wood, it's actually helped a decent chunk. Great baseline. This is the weirdest one of the day by far today. First 5 under 4.5. If you guys go look at the earned run squares for Eric Fetty, for Andrew Heaney, you'll notice something's up. Heaney's given up a bazillion runs in his last 2 starts, and we'll talk about him in a moment. And Fetty's got a weird-looking square as well after getting mucked up in that last start. Both teams have scored a bunch of runs in their last couple games. I think we get an absolute snooze fest in this one, Jovan, early on. I don't want to involve the bullpens whatsoever, especially the Pirates, but I think we get a good old-fashioned snooze fest, a playoff-type atmosphere game. Both teams coming in off of 3 straight Ws. And again, not saying the Pirates are making the playoffs, but playoff-type atmosphere. Both teams are playing good ball right now. It's going to be a little tighter, a little more low-scoring than we expect, especially if you look at Heaney and Fetty's recent games. Oh, they've been terrible.
God awful.
Talk about the ultimate bounce back, though. The ultimate bounce back spot for both these guys. Heaney has some of the craziest squares I've seen up on the board today. And Fetty's got that weird earned run square as well, Jovan. We get a snooze fest early on. I'll keep the bullpens out of it. I'll keep the starting pitchers. If they go back out there for the 6th, that's giving me nightmares already, and it hasn't even happened yet. Let's isolate. Let's take that nasty first 5 under 4.5.
Sure. I'm in. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Let's go.
I'm right there with you.
Let's go. Like I said, we got to stop discrediting the Pirates bullpen.
Yeah, they've been better. They're still not great, though.
Mm.
They've also just been playing some really bad offenses. They've got like the most fortunate scheduling in the league, like the past month, which is why I guess they've been winning games.
Mm. Do we have anybody in the YouTube chat lurking? Haven't seen many YouTube chats today. I see Max Hancock lurking. Soroka was dealing on Saturday too. Should have left him out there for the 7th. I wish Wish I could agree. And honestly, I mean, looking at how it went, hindsight 2020, obviously they should have. But to be fair there, I mean, Trevor Williams and Soroka have not been able to pitch in the 6th inning all season. They have like a 20 ERA in the 6th inning or later this season. They can't do it. They can't do it. So if you got to do some sort of opener type strategy, you got to do what you got to do. Let him only go 5 and prepare the bullpen. Get Brad Lord up and moving. Because he's pitching 2 or 3 innings when both those guys are starting. As like a piggyback. Okay? Dubs. Jovan, Rays are giving 3 different team hats this week. Nats are giving a Brady House shirt Wednesday. Yeah, Pega. Sure. W's. All right. Need the Nats ML on Saturday. Well, Ryder, I hope you enjoyed that bitching then. I would have loved to see a sweep. Okay? All right. W first 5 under. I want to see Jovan's first straight bet. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it.
Rays and Jolly in that game. I'm with you. I think it's going to be a relatively low-scoring game. Both these offenses against both these starters that need a little bounce back, but trust Heaney, which is crazy to say in the Big 2-5, a little bit more than Fetty, especially because Fetty, I think, is more of a long-term, this is what Fetty is, because the swing and miss stuff is not really there anymore. It's like against the Pirates team that you know is going to strike out or should strike out a bunch. That's a big-time issue. So outside of the fact that O'Neal Cruz is probably doing absolutely nothing today, I think the rest of the team can come through and do job against Fetty, and the bullpen is certainly an issue, especially with the state that they're in. But when Heaney has his best outings, especially against the Cardinals team, who really nobody whose name is not Contreras right now is seeing a lefty the slightest bit well. One of the reasons for that is because they're super aggressive, and they're kind of like the Jays in the area where like sometimes you see the Jays face a guy and you're like, why are they swinging at every single first pitch? Why are they rolling over, especially against the guy who's nibbling? That's exactly what the Cardinals have done pretty much every start against someone not named Logan Allen in the past like 2 weeks against a lefty. So I think that's going to continue. And there's probably a reason why the Pirates, even though they did have a great series against the Mets, I think they flipped to a favorite, which is interesting. So I'm riding with Heaney.
Riding the hot hands. I know both teams have won 3 in a row, but it's definitely more significant for the Pirates to win 3 in a row.
100%.
It's like I'm hitting the fucking lottery ticket. Kidding me?
Yeah.
Let's make it 4. Right? We know how baseball works. Let's make it 4. Ride the hot hands. Let's hope Heaney bounces back. And chat, if you guys don't think Heaney's going to go out there and pitch pretty decent tonight, just go look at some of his squares on Prize Picks. It's crazy. Go check them out. All right, we'll talk about them here in a moment. We'll circle back. All right? And we'll circle back to these other straight bets as well, Jovan. W Pirates play. I'm sure we're going to have to talk about that game a little bit more. We got 2 plays in that puppy. Let's go talk about Chase Burns, though, your guy, in the Reds game.
Sure.
Okay? Let me get the under in this game. Under 7.5 in Fenway. I asked Jovan earlier today, I was like, how often do you see a 7.5 total at Fenway Park in the Big 2-5? You don't see it very often. Now, obviously, you got Garrett Crochet and that 2 ERA. He's a fucking beast. Needs to be talked about a little bit more. Having a 2 ERA when you're pitching in Fenway Park in half your games is pretty damn impressive. It is. Chase Burns, on the other hand, pitched lights out for the majority of his, first start, MLB debut. And then he kind of got mucked up at the end of the start, right? I think he locks back in, bounces back, and we see the Chase Burns that struck out like the first 4 or 5 hitters of the game. We see an absolutely dialed-in Chase Burns. Go look at that earned run square for him. He's got a 3 or 2.5 earned run square up there after giving up 3 earned runs. Only fucking game. Small sample size, obviously. But this total's dropping from 8 to 7.5. Look, if it was Garrett Crochet versus, prime Max Scherzer, I'd be saying, all right, 7.5 total, 2 aces, sure, whatever. That's not that weird. Chase Burns making his second ever start in Fenway Park, the most hitter-friendly ballpark in baseball. That looks kind of weird to me. I want to get involved in a nasty, no-fun under. I know Crochet's going to go out there and do yob. Let's hope this Chase Burns kid is fucking legit, and I think he is. Second start around. Let's hope he doesn't lose as much steam as he did in that first start. Give me the under 7.5. No fun, no runs.
No fun, no runs. Love that. Love that from you, Krabs.
I need your thoughts, Mr. Reds.
Well, you can flip over to my place. I think it's just the Reds and Chase Burns beating Garrett Crochet, no matter what the score happens to be, whether it's low scoring like we all expect, or if somebody ends up getting tapped up, I think it's Garrett Crochet, which I think conventional wisdom and what everybody is splooging over on the feed is it's Garrett Crochet everything, because the Reds overall this season have very iffy, let's just call it bad numbers against lefties. But as they've started to pick it up the last couple of weeks, and specific guys have started to pick it up against lefties the past couple of weeks, I'm talking about Spencer Steer, who's picked it up against everybody, but he's been known as a lefty killer his entire career, and now he's starting to see everybody pretty well. He's gotten hotter. Ellie has been surprisingly red hot against lefties as of late. You got guys coming back in the lineup, whether they're like strikeout or miss guys or just power guys, like Reese Hines is back in the lineup. Santiago Espinal has been in the lineup all year, and he's in there only to hit lefties. One of the worst righty hitters in all of baseball. So collectively, they're a lot better than you think. Like last couple weeks, all like throughout the season, they've been like a bottom 5 team against lefties, but last 2 weeks, they're right in the middle of the league, perfectly average. I think they have like a 98 WRC plus. So they're not a bad team. So regardless, and their strikeout like numbers are also really, really low. And granted, they haven't faced a Garrett Crochet yet, so things don't have to be the same in that. But I think they score some runs off of Crochet. I think for this game specifically, if we're talking about a pitcher's duel, all it takes is to run into one, to be honest. And I think this game can be theirs. I think they do that. And Chase Burns, I'm with you. I'm buying in. I think he's going to have a great start. This Red Sox offense is cold as ice right now. And for a guy that comes in with a lot of power stuff, they haven't handled them well. So I think we're in Fenway, and whether it's a pitcher's duel or not, I think one of the reasons for that is because Crochet is going to chalk a lot of people on Twitter.
Okay. Well, shit. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Crochet talk. I've seen a lot of Chase Burns talk. I mean, even in the chat right now, we got our goats like Brian C. saying POD is the K combo. People in the chat also saying, oh, this is the Twitter POD. Should be a good look. Should go well. We'll see. It's still an under. I'm taking in that game. But I do like Jovan's little Reds plus chicken wager as well. Thinking Chase Burns might be him. And maybe the Reds can get to the lefty a little bit today. Maybe it's a rare Crochet, not a shutout. And again, for him, a bad start at this point is giving up like 2 runs. It's crazy. But that fantasy score for him, it's not like it's higher than it should be. You can even make an argument that maybe it's, a tick lower looking at his recent performances, but I don't know how much higher they can really put it.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know what you can realistically do, but
okay.
I will say, like, I've seen him at 1.5 earned run normal squares plenty of times in his last handful of starts. And like today, granted you're in Fenway, but he's been lights out in Fenway, and it's not great hitting weather. And there's a 7.5 total, and that is a gob that's minus 160 against this team that nobody thinks is going to be able to touch him and can't touch a lefty. So that feels like, at least it's telling me they're at least running into something. And in this game, that might matter a shit ton more than any other game.
Okay. Adam's got picks saying no one's talking about Mad Max. That's where I'll be going. I love that. Let's put a pin in that for now, because we're going to need to bring up potentially backing / fading 2 different aces, if you can even call Max an ace at this point, but 2 different aces. We're going to have to talk about Zach Wheeler and how he's got some interesting looking squares and how I like the over in that game. We'll get to it when we go to Pick a Pro. And we're going to have to talk about Mad Max in his second start coming back from injury here against the Yankees, and Toronto catching some steam. We're going to talk about him once we get to Pick a Pro after the Sharp Report here, guys. So stick with us. Okay? And we'll also have to talk about, Logan Webb for some reason and Ryan Nelson catching, 20 cents of steam against Logan Webb in that game. We're going to have to talk about it. Okay? We will. We got some time. All right? How are we not talking about the CBB video game coming out in the Big 2-8? Dude, could not be more excited. You think it's worth talking about it when the game comes out in 3 years?
Yeah.
Or you want to pick it up maybe in the Big 2-7?
28 is just absurd.
Why even release it?
Yeah, why would you even say something now?
Shit. 3 years, dude? Ridiculous. How hard can it be? Literally, how hard can it be to make? 3 years?
I'm not in the EA office, but 3 years to make a game is just unbelievable.
Yep. All right. Swing it back around, Goots. Let's talk about these straight bets. Got one more for you guys. Hashtag sorry, Goots. Hashtag Patty C. Hashtag Rangers might be back. Hashtag sorry, Goots. Fading the O's early. Getting in, getting out. Rumor has it, boots on ground, Goots on ground. Down there for this game with the squads. Surely that goes well. That's not why I'm fading the O's, though. Fading the O's, we all know why. Okay, Rogers has been literally Garrett Crochet, maybe even better. from the left side. He's got a 1.62 ERA. Bless his heart. Great start to the season for him coming back from injury. I like the guy, but I don't like what I'm seeing for him today. I'll be honest. And we'll talk about the prize pick squares in a moment here. I want to fade Rogers. I want to back this Rangers lineup that has not been great, but I want to buy low here. They have won 3 of their last 5 games, and they are coming off a loss. I think they put up a couple against Trevor Rogers. And I think Patty C goes out there and we get another vintage start from him. I think he stops the bleeding after 3 pretty poor outings. I think he locks back in here at home. We know it's a pitcher's park. Give the edge to Patty C here tonight. And we all know the Orioles' woes at the dish against lefties. If there's one team, honestly 2 teams, that Patty C would deal against, and he has, and he will again, it's the Nats and the A's. 2 teams that literally cannot hit lefties to save their life. That's not going to change overnight. It's not. Patty C's got that weird earned runs allowed square as well that I'm going to look to pair with something. Makes it look like one of the easiest looking more thans on the boards. You guys know what to do. But instead of fading the O's for the full game, because whenever I do that, somehow the bet loses every single time, I'll sack up. I'll go in first 5, get in, get out real quick. I'll take the Rangers and Patty C to outduel Trevor Rogers and that 1.62 ERA. We'll talk about him more in a moment when we get to the prize pick squares, but loving the Rangers, first 5 ML, certainly some push potential in a game I like the under in. But I think Patty C goes out there and shoves, at least gives up less than 2.5 earned runs. And I think Trevor Rogers, not to say much, but has his worst start of the season so far.
Sure. I'm in on that.
Right? We got Groovy holding down the YouTube chat. Let's go, Groovy. Let's go, Groovy. Good to see you lurking in the chat. We got BA, Jovan, guess what I'm getting for lunch? Moss Italian beef from Portillo's. No way, B. Armin.
Moss Italian beef.
Are you getting it dipped like a grown-up? Or does that shit not travel that well?
He's getting that shit Jacob Lopez is about to throw to Junior today.
Okay. Runs. 2 words.
Runs. I didn't want to do it because Rasmussen's involved, and frankly, I've been on the wrong side of whenever I like to raise against a pitcher and he's involved, and I'm scared of the, I guess, regression coming from him. I put it in there, and the Rays dominate, and Rasmussen absolutely shoves like he has all season, but today feels a little bit different. And I know his totals moved down, and knock on wood, when I knowingly get involved with these, it usually goes pretty well. But Jacob Lopez has not only been Cy Young, but he is a former Rays pitcher who they moved on from very, very quickly. Now, usually when the Rays do that, they know something, especially when he has a pretty short stint. They brought him up as a reliever for the most part, and then he started a couple games for them, was awful. Now he's figured out something. A lot of that's strikeouts, but the Rays starting to see lefties a little better now. But the big thing here is out of all starting pitchers who have made more than one start, Krabs, you want to guess who has the lowest ground ball rate in all of baseball?
Who?
That would be Jacob Lopez.
J-Lo.
And they're back in Steinbrenner today with the wind blowing a little bit out, which for Steinbrenner makes all the difference in the world. So I think that is some bad news for him, especially against some of these righties today, which would be huge. So I think there's finally the start where he starts to look like Moose, and what a time for it to happen then against his former team. And the Rays have 2 opportunities at that, because you also got Springs pitching tomorrow. This is the one that I feel a little more confident about them tapping this guy up. And then Rasmussen on the other side, I think he can have a like solid start, but for the same reasons. Like, he throws a shit ton of fastballs. His leash is probably going to be really short in this game, like it always is, no longer than 5. But even if he has a good start, he's probably giving up a nuke or 2 to no longer flounder meet Nick Kurtz or Brent Rooker or one of those guys, maybe multiple. When you throw that many fastballs against this A's team and you have favorable hitting conditions like you have in Tampa tonight, it's hard to really say he's going to be dominant for the entirety of the start. And the bullpen is in not the greatest spot after the past weekend that they used him a shit ton. Shout out Kevin Cash for that. But
yep,
they're getting runs.
Jovan, you know I'm a J-Lo guy.
You are.
I am. Kid's got heart. Gives me Jake Irvin vibes a little bit. Sometimes he goes out there and just, it's not really skill or, stuff related. It's more just, him going out there and using his brain and outsmarting these guys and clutching up a little bit. He's got some clutch in him. He does. I'll be honest, though, I was pretty upset when I saw Jacob Lopez 2.5 earned runs allowed square up there on Prize Picks. The guy's been him.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, to be fair, it has been up, I think, all of these starts where he's just been lights out.
Dude, he's given up 1 run in his last 4 starts combined. That is insane.
Yeah, he's been dominant. And he's had like 7+ Ks, I think, in almost all of them.
He passes the eye test for me. Now,
He does.
down the fade, looking at those squares today. Okay. It is all hard. It's not stuff. But the results are good. Not tonight, though. Not tonight. It's one of those cases I care more about that opener at 9 than I do where the line's at right now. And like you said, I mean, you've been monitoring, obviously, the steam and the movement, especially in games that involve your raise. And you're saying when the total moves down, that honestly, that's when, the overs actually find more success. Knock on wood.
Dude, it's crazy.
Which is weird.
Steinbrenner, I've seen the 8.5 to 9, 9.5 to 9, or 8.5 to 8 to 8.5, 8.5 to 9, even 9 to 9.5 move all the time. Never pans out, but the second it goes 9 to 8.5, or in this case, like 8.5 to 8, those are the games they actually get runs. And usually it's pretty one-sided, one way or the other. So maybe that trend continues today. Hope so. But that's why I'm kind of throwing out any line moves.
Couple things. I like this play. Obviously, I'm a J-Lo guy, but I do like fading him today. And you've got that Rasmussen 1.5 earned runs allowed square up there after he threw a shutout in his last start too. So I'm in. I'm in for this over. Is it my favorite over you pitched of the season? Probably not. But is it a good looking play? And does the math check out after crunching the numbers? Yeah, it does. It does. Estemico coming in resubbing. Came to the right place for winners. Estemico, you are him. Appreciate you, Beast. Getting involved. Dropping a resub. 43 months for Estemico. Are you kidding me?
Goat.
Wow. Can we clap it up for Madul? People are saying Madul's back. He fed us a plus chicken winner over the weekend in the CFL. Shout out the Tiger Cats and shout out Madul.
Goated.
Shout out the Tiger Cats and shout out Madul. I tailed. Play was free as ma. 35-17, the Tiger Cats won against one of the better teams in the league.
Muck chowder.
Got their first win of the season. That one was easy. Okay. Let's talk about some prize pick squares, huh?
Sure.
Let's talk about some squares. Got a couple that I like. I've already locked in the Sharp Report format. I'll drop the link to that puppy once we get to Jovan squares. W gatekeeping. Start out with Heaney. I mean, guys, like the square in this one, I feel like sells itself. This Heaney square, the Heaney respect that he's getting today doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The guy's given up 14 earned runs. Not this season. Not this month. Not in his last 5. Jovan, he's given up 14 earned runs in his last 2 starts combined. Think about that for a second. He's literally pitched 2 touchdowns in each of his last 2 starts. You don't see that very often. That is a different level of quail shit. Hashtag thank you, Rav.
Really bad.
Hashtag thank you, Rav. Yep. Well, you guys think they're putting that square up there and he's giving up another tutty? 21-0? What do you guys think? Or do your brains work and you think it's going less than? I'm in the group with the latter. Look, we'll see how it goes. These squares aren't 100%, but feel pretty damn confident. Back in Rav's guy. Love seeing Jovan having the Pirates ML on the card as well. I've obviously got the first 5 under. I think Andrew Heaney has a little bit of a bounce back start here at home. Legacy start, if you will. Okay? The fact that the square is up is absurd. Absurd. I don't always just like to only utilize, the chart or what's going on, in the past. I like to, see maybe some matchups or the totals drop in, or I like to have another nugget in the back pocket, right? Besides just, chart watching. Jovan, this square, man, it's so fucking weird. It's just about the chart. It really is. 2 touchdowns.
2 tutties.
7 runs in each of his last 2 starts. That doesn't happen. Well, got a pretty good feeling, and I'm willing to bet that Andrew Heaney goes out there and looks much better tonight. Locking is less than 2.5 earned runs allowed.
Sure.
Okay.
And we got Trevor Rogers to sweat, boots on ground.
Sure. Goots, I'm sorry. Didn't have to be this way. I didn't want it to be this way. I didn't wake up and say I want to fade Goots today. No. But I don't have a fucking choice, man. I don't. I didn't want to go 2 earned run squares. There's a couple other earned run squares we're going to talk about that I do really like. But I didn't want to go earned run squares. I wanted to diversify, not give you 2 of those puppies, and I had to keep Heaney, which means I had to go another pitcher. Okay? Give me the less than 24.5 fantasy score for Trevor Rogers, who's been damn near Nolan Ryan up there on the bump so far this season in a limited sample. But he's going to have his hands full on the road. Check the Carfax. Check where his squares are at for today. All the signs are pointing towards an absolute muckfest against the lefty Trevor Rogers. And yeah, I'll go ahead and back the Rangers bats one more time and see if I don't get hurt again, because they're bad. Well, tonight, I think they get moving and grooving early and often, and they knock Trevor Rogers out of this game pretty early. He might end up looking like Trevor Williams.
Real horrible pitcher, Krabs.
Yep. Well, Trevor Williams, yes.
Yes.
Trevor Rogers. Okay. Yeah. Well, he's better look like him today. Krabs, just a heads up, every opposing pitcher who comes to Ranger Stadium turns into fucking Cy Young DeGrom. Never seen an opposing starting pitcher give up 3 runs.
I agree. But Trevor Rogers just had a Cy Young DeGrom start against the same team. So that kind of tips the scales a little bit.
Literally in his last outing.
8 shutout. So this might be the rare occurrence. I don't ever get the feeling of taking runs in a game, especially when we go, but just any Rangers game in Texas, because there's a bunch of different reasons. The baseballs, they don't score runs. They have a great bullpen too, so nothing really lines up for runs. This one, I think, does. You know who I think can do it, Krabs?
Who?
Craziest option of them all for the Rangers. Guy they just called back up. He played some last year. He had one
Let's
game
just go
under
right
his,
to Jovan Squares.
Yeah, one game under his belt this year that also just so happened to be against Trevor Rogers in that game. He is on a streak.
Who the hell is Justin Foscue? Talk about this guy. Talk about this square, and go ahead and reiterate how crazy it is that it's up and his stats this season, please.
Well, this season he's just 0 for 3. But if you want to go back to last year, because he debuted last year, his last 42 MLB at-bats have ended hitless. He's on a 0 for 42 streak when he's been up with the Rangers. Absolutely awful. But back in the minors, he is a great lefty hitter. He also doesn't strike out much against lefties. He has one of the, lower strikeout rates in all of the minor leagues against lefties. So, against Trevor Rogers, I think that works pretty well. I don't think Trevor Rogers is going to get many whiffs against the Rangers lineup in general tonight. But Justin Foscue, like I said, he faced him in that start that Trevor Rogers made. And the very first, I believe, at bat that he had against him was a fastball that Foscue took to the warning track. And I think 2 of the 3 at bats he had against him were 98 and 99 off the bat. So he's the perfect matchup for him. And it does help that I guess he's the only guy that he's seen since he's been back in the major leagues. And now not only does he have a total bases square up, but he has a hit square. He has a 3 fantasy score on the board, which putting a fantasy score up for a guy who's 0 for 42 is crazy. So now that we're seeing that, I think he might run into one tonight. We'll be boots on ground sweating. Hopefully, assuming he plays. They just called him back up for Berger because he's on the IL, so he'll probably play first like he did in that start against the Orioles and Trevor Rogers that he just had a week ago. But assuming he plays, we'll be sweating it out. Definitely going to take him to get, I believe, his first career nuke, too. If we can get that in person, that would be crazy.
The way you're calling his first ever career nukes Q.
We'll be sweating that live and in person. Live and in person.
0 for 42, you said, in his last 42 at-bats. Was that the number?
Yeah. His last hit is literally against Gray Rod last year. And Gray Rod's been on the shelf for decades.
That's been a while. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Is it time to move on from him?
He's hurt, so you can't say that. He's
No.
he's a guy that I just think is never going to be healthy.
Okay. Hopefully they can get one good run out of him in the postseason coming up here the next couple of years. Would love it.
Well, maybe one good run in September when you're 15 games out, but playoffs, maybe not. It's really bad. Really bad.
Quote of the year, just want to play competitive games in September. As you pull out Brixie, as you pull out the worst relievers I've ever fucking seen. I got to move on.
Shout out.
Mark Scar coming in, dropping a follow. Let's go, Mark Scar. Hey, boy.
Let's go, Marks.
Hey, boy.
All right, so we had Foscue then to little less weird one, Junior, which we're just talking about it. Whole reason, like, I think that Jacob Lopez is going to struggle is because not only do like the Rays have guys that are seeing lefties a little better, Junior, like, technically is not one of them because he has killed lefties all through like coming up in the system in the minor leagues at every single level. He's been such a drastically better hitter against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. It's not the case this year, but I think a lot of the reason for that is because we faced a bunch of ground ball pitchers, like some of the best like lefty ground ball pitchers in baseball, like Max Fried. He's seen it a couple of times. We saw Framber, he got dominated. And Junior, if you've watched him or know anything about him this year, he has plenty of pop, but he also just pounds the ball into the ground. He has 21 double plays so far this year, which for like any sort of reference, the MLB record for most in the season is 36. So like he's going to be probably hitting 40 home runs while also setting the double play record this year. But like I talked about, the lowest ground ball rate out of any qualified starting pitcher right now is Jacob Lopez, and he happens to be a lefty. So if there's any time for this number to start turning around and for Junior to spend one ridiculously far into the trees back in Steinbrenner left field, it's probably today. The last time he saw like a comparable like pitcher of this, like a lefty with a significantly low ground ball rate, was actually the last time I was at Steinbrenner Field, or one of the last times against Eric Lauer, where he ripped the double first AB, and then Eric Lauer, I think, in the Blue Jays bullpen was scared of him and didn't pitch to him after that. But cleared it then. That was when he had like a weird bases square up. Now I think this is a perfect matchup for him to just go nuts today. So riding
with Junior. Already locked this in with my two squares. One nasty geyserman with Justin Foscue, and then back in your goat, who's not been red hot. See if he can turn it around tonight. More than 5.5 fantasy score. Okay. I'm in. I've already locked it in myself. Put the lineup link in the chat with my two squares here. We got Big Bubs 12 locked in the Twitch chat as well. I'm looking at you. He said he already locked it in himself too. Okay.
Good, Bubs.
W Bubs. Goots, do me a favor. Swing it around for me. Got to go over my squares here really quick. Okay.
I think you did. Did you not?
Oh, I did go over them. You're right. Correct. Good call. We're locked. I'll drop the link again here if you guys want to get involved. Okay. I've got a couple nasty squares as well. Heaney. The Heaney one feels like a vintage Krabs square.
That is.
Trevor Rogers one.
It's right out of the Krabs playbook.
The Trevor Rogers one, I'm a little bit concerned. Goots on grounds. Might have some magical powers going, but and obviously a pitcher's park, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's talk about some of these other really good games on the diamonds. W Pickett Pro, W Goots. Okay.
Ooh.
Let's talk about some of these games.
Well, we're talking about Rogers. I didn't realize he had an earned run square up now, too.
Does he?
He does. That means he's climbing, because I know he was plus chick to that more than 2.5 on the books for a while. So that means there's probably a minus sign next to it now. So at least that means it's going your way.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, the under on the books is minus 125. The over is minus 105. You're saying before it was probably like plus 105 for the over 2.5.
No, it was longer than that. It was like plus 125.
Jesus.
So the fact that it's moved up that fat against the Rangers of all teams is interesting.
That's weird. That's certainly really weird. Okay. Yeah, can we get a roll call going from Goots at the game tonight?
Yeah, we might need that.
I still cannot believe that video. I can't believe it.
It's really bad. Like horrific. Horrific from Goots. And those Gootses in the crowd. Really bad.
What was that guy thinking?
Pirates and Phillies. What do you think?
Oh, speaking of Goots, his guy's back. Matt Waldron back on the bump today. How about it? No,
Matt
Literally. Is he still throwing the knuckleball? I know he's not like R.A. Dickey or Wakefield where he doesn't throw it every pitch, but is he still throwing that puppy?
Yeah, they sent them down last year when he was bad, and then he was hurt, and then they're bringing him back up now. So, Matty Nuck.
Okay. Matty
Nuck.
Would not be surprised if Matty Nuck gets mucked up.
Yeah, Matty Nuck might be Nuck today.
I think it goes both ways, though. I don't think it'll just be Matty Nuck. I think it'll be Matty Nuck and Zach Wheeler. Give it up a couple runs. Number one, love fading guys in their first start of the season, especially when they're coming back from an injury. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Max Scherzer. I don't care if you're Prime DeGrom. I don't care if you are Salazar or the software salesman coming out of the bullpen for the Nats. If you're making your first start, first appearance coming out, from an injury or you missed a lot of time, automatically lean fade you. And maybe that's square. Don't really care. Fading Waldron as he still gets his feet under him. I mean, the odds of him going out there and absolutely shoving, total's at 9 for a reason in this game, respectfully. He's going to give up a couple. Now, I would not be shocked if the Padres made this a game with their bats. Wouldn't be shocked because I'm looking at some of the squares for Zach Wheeler, who's been unbelievable this whole season. And Jovan, it kind of looks like to me he might give up a couple.
Yeah.
He's got a 1.5 earned runs allowed goblin after giving up 2 runs combined in his last 4 starts. He's coming off of back-to-back shutouts. And he's got a 1.5 goblin earned run square, which, I thought it would have been more like the Rasmussen square, where it was a normal 1.5 with how good he's pitched of late. So I think that's a good sign for him to at least give up 2, which for him is a pretty poor start in this economy. No fantasy score either for Zach Wheeler, which is kind of weird. All the squares are making me feel like he might give up a couple. Yeah. What do you think, Jovan? You think that Zach Wheeler is going to be human in this start this afternoon or tonight?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think the Padres can score some runs off them. I'm looking for the exact number, but I do know that the Padres against the Reds starting pitching this weekend were not very good. I know they scored, I think, 1 off Lodolo. Like Nick Martinez had a no-hit bid into the 9th. And then I don't know who pitched third game. I think it was Abbott, or the middle game. I think it was Abbott, but he was they dominated all series. So now wouldn't it be the most baseball thing of all time if Zach Wheeler came in and gave up some runs?
Yep. I like this over.
Kind of
over 9. Yeah,
also
over 9.
A raid from Snowman with Party of 23.
Wow.
W.
Hell yeah, Snowman.
Goat.
Snowman, hope you had a good weekend, Beast. Are you lurking in the chat? Appreciate you herding over the cattle to this side of town. You're a fucking beast. Table 23, we're going to need a minute to get that puppy ready. Okay? Well, we got you. We got Proper Badge coming in hot. Radington, sure we can. Good to see you guys. We got Zob Betts coming in from the raid. Hell yeah. We got These Dated Monkey. So Wheeler is going to shove. Good one, man. You got a stand-up show this week? Tickets I can buy to? Let me know. Let's all clap it up for These Dated Monkey with the best joke of the year. Let's clap it up real quick.
That was creative.
Just not funny and not good. Just stupid, to be honest with you. Just a
gotta
stupid
come
comment.
with some better. Some better.
Oh, man. Chase Burns again today? Yeah, give me the under in that game. Proper Patch. Love that play. Might add it to my card. Or actually, I already have it in my card. Let's go. All right. I'm going to have to add the over in the Padres and the Phillies to my card over 9. I like that play. Let's talk about Rodon and Scherzer. Yankees, Toronto. I know we don't have a ton of games today, but we got some good ones and some decent matchups and some solid starting pitchers today. Rodon, I'll give credit where credit's due. Rodon's been pretty solid this season. Sub-3 ERA. For the first time in a Yankees uniform, it seems like he's figured out how the fuck to pitch. Good for Rodon. It only took him 3 years. And Max Scherzer, bless his heart. I mean, the guy, just hang him up. Just hang him up, man. Go coach. You want to still be in the game? Somebody will give you a head coaching job. Shit, you can come back to DC. Not a lot of people know more ball than Max Scherzer. Be a coach. You know how good of a pitching coach Max Scherzer would be? Holy smokes. It's time. It's time. It's hard to watch, man. The guy, look, I said this 5 or 10 years ago when he was on the Nats. The way the guy pitches, he's not built to last. He's not. And here come all the injuries, man. A new one every fucking month. It's sad. Well, if you strictly bet off the lines, you might think Scherzer might be decent today. Jovan, they're catching a little bit of steam here. About 15 cents of steam. And we are seeing some bets on Toronto, at least on the spread. They're actually getting more bets in handle on the spread. Interesting. The +1.5. The total in the game is moving up, though. It opened up at 8. which tells me we might not get an absolute muck show from the offenses, and it might be a pitcher's duel a little bit here. Maybe Scherzer figures it out a little bit in start number 2 coming back from the injury. I hope he does. Number 1, because I'm a huge fan. He's him. And number 2, because he's facing the Yankees. What are your thoughts on this game? I kind of like Toronto, but I'm not, going to fall for it or take the bait with Scherzer because I think there's a chance that he might just be toast. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to think that too. And faded him the first start back against Cleveland, which, as he found out by, I think, everybody in all of baseball, as far as like the elite pitchers go, having their best outings against Cleveland. It's no accident, even though that was, I guess, with J-Ram compared to, I forget who it was, who just had an absolute masterclass against them this past weekend without J-Ram. But point stands, he wasn't like all that bad outside of the top of the lineup, but you should be against the way that lineup is stacked. I just don't know if I see it against the Yankees today. Not to say they've been some world beaters as of late, because I think they just hit like their first over in a game in, what was it, like 2.5 weeks or something yesterday.
Yep.
And they scored 12 runs against the A's. So like maybe that's them getting hot. Maybe it's just a flash in the pan because the A's pitching staff is absolute moose meat for the most part. But I just don't know if I can get there with Scherzer, dude. Especially with some of the hard contact that he gave up against the guards, even against some of the bottom of the lineup. You do that today in Toronto against the Yankees, it's probably not going to work out very well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm worried. I'm a little bit worried. But looking at the lines, I think they got a chance. Toronto's got a pulse.
They do.
In this game. Scherzer's got a pulse.
Truth be told, too, it also just feels like one of those series where, like, obviously the Rays are creeping in. The Blue Jays are right there, too. This is, like, maybe the biggest series that the Blue Jays have had all year in Toronto.
Oh.
It's just like a classic fold spot. The lights are as bright as they've been all year for them, getting the Yankees to come to their place, and they're kind of skidding. They've been worse, obviously, but they're not playing great ball right now. Blue Jays have been playing great for a while. You have a chance to really fuck up the AL East standings with this series. It's usually not when the Jays play their best ball.
Right. Can make an argument it's also when the Yankees fold like a Dollar Tree lawn chair when games matter.
Agreed. I don't know. It seems like whenever the Yankees are like in the fade spot, we're like they're on the other end of it. I feel like that's when they come out in their Barry Bonds. All of them.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I won't be betting this game. I'll be rooting for Scherzer. I think he's got a little bit of hope, but in the back of my mind, kind of like I talked about with Bryce Elder. I know it's a little bit of a different situation. Bryce Elder is just bad at pitching. Scherzer's just old, right? He's had his time. But just like I talked about with Bryce Elder last week, he might just suck. He might just be bad. And no matter what squares are up, what the lines are doing, the guy might just stink. Scherzer, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I still believe if anybody can come back and be a freak and pull some sort of weird, Tiger Woods winning the Masters type vibe after having a back infusion, spinal infusion, it's probably Max Scherzer. He's got that dog in him, right? We'll see how bad he wants it. I just hope his fucking body can hold together for another couple good starts, man. I really do. I'm worried. Okay.
Yeah.
Snowman, what's up, Beast? Krabs, are you taking any exposure on Burns Crochet, less than 14 combo square? Snowman, you're probably not going to expect this, but I actually like the under in that game. I do.
It's pretty soft.
I like the under in that game. Kind of soft. It might be square. Don't care. Shit's hitting. All right. I know, Snowman. Not typically a crabby play, but been pretty locked in the last month or two on the diamonds. This play was speaking to me. Total at 7.5 does not grow on trees at Fenway. They don't. All right. Joshy says, I was about to sack up and take Judge under fantasy score today. Joshy, I'd rather take his more than 1.5 strikeouts demon and put a little bit less on it. If you're going to take something, I would take the strikeout machine, Aaron Judge, right now, who's been good for 2Ks damn near every game. Against Scherzer, still has that strikeout stuff, still got that dog in him. Probably would go with the more than 1.5 demon strikeouts for Aaron Judge, which, by the way, is Texas tucked behind the 2.5 square and the Goblin half square. You got to scroll all the way through to get to it. Weird order.
Okay.
Weird order. Yep. Maybe he strikes out twice. All right. We got Matthew Odell coming in asking the important questions. Early Heisman predictions. Cade Klubnik. Who you got?
Austin Simmons.
I bet. I'm going to refrain from any hokey talk. I'm going to be good.
Do not say drones.
We're going to move.
Yeah, like that can't even cross your mind.
We're going to move.
Can't even cross your mind.
We are going to move. Can we get a look at some of these later games, Gootsy? Take a gander before I start talking about Kyron Drones to win the Heisman. Let's talk about Kansas City, Seattle's. Okay. Kind of want to back the Royals today, but they don't respect coins one bit. Jovan, thoughts on the Royals game tonight? They're on the road in Seattle facing a Kirby who's been atrocious this year. What the hell happened to Kirby? This ain't Mom and Pa's Curbs. What's going on with him?
He's looked better, I guess, at some points. Just not he's throwing too many strikes, which is hurting him a lot. And I know that's like his calling card, but at some point, like, teams are going to adjust. But when you're facing a team like the Royals, that's kind of, if you make them hit, they simply can't fucking hit. It's probably not going to hurt him very much. It's like, I kind of think, not that I'm going to lay it with the Mariners. I don't think I ever would with Kirby right now until he starts to look dominant again. But I think he pitches well tonight. I think it's them.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stay off that game. I got weird vibes on both sides. Kirby's just been bad, though, man. You don't want to catch the falling knife with him until he figures it out. This is baseball. This ain't football. You can't just strictly bet lines.
Yeah, he's gotten pretty lucky, too, last couple starts. So, I mean, even when he hasn't been getting, like, rocked like he did, like when he first came back for the couple starts, he's been getting the ball hit hard off of him, which is not great. But, again, the Royals don't really do that. So it really doesn't matter. They're just bad.
Okay. We'll talk about one more game here real quick. Giants, D-backs. This one's weird. Talk about a lot of aces pitching today, a lot of good starting pitchers. You got Logan Webb and that 2.5 ERA going today. For some reason, Jovan, the D-backs are catching steam. They got so many injuries. They're playing like quail shit. And maybe they're just a team this year that the books, they're trying to utilize them to take advantage of people who think they know what the fuck's going on with the lines, and they keep losing more and more money. I've seen it before in MLB. I've seen it before with the Snakes not too long ago. Maybe that's the case. Maybe people are thinking, oh, this team should be good. They're trying to catch the falling knife every night. Maybe they just suck. Maybe they're not locked in right now, right? They're still under 500. At some point, you got to ask those questions. I'm looking at the prize picks boards. It doesn't look like Nelson's going to really shove or pitch terrible. He's got a 15.5 pitching out square. He really doesn't go more than that often, so that gives me hope. But his fantasy score is only at 23.5, which is pretty weird, especially considering he's coming off a really good start with 7 Ks. Weird. But they're catching 20 cents of steam against Logan Webb, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Jovan, I know Logan Webb is a different pitcher at home compared to on the roads. Is this a spot you want to fade him?
Yes. I think it's the Snakes tonight. They're very close to making the card. Like Logan Webb, who, don't forget, like he was minus 120 against who was still at that time one of the hotter teams in baseball, and the Tigers and Jack Flaherty in Detroit. So like now you're seeing minus 135 against the Snakes that are cold as shit. Ryan Nelson's been better, obviously, but he's a reliever at heart and converted that way over the course of the season. Minus 135 looks like top 5 traps I think I've seen all year. And I know the Giants are not playing great baseball right now, to say the least, but the way the D-backs are just the most inconsistent team in baseball, it seems to be right now, at least the most inconsistent team with any sort of talent. This feels like the script is already written.
They're a little bit more public than I would have thought or wanted.
32%, is that what it says?
Yeah, for the money. Bets are 43%. This other site, closer to 50-50 on the ML.
Yeah.
Just back in my mind, I still think people like the Snakes team because they went on a run a couple years ago, and that scares me a little bit.
They do. It's still, Logan Webb, I think, offsets it, though.
Agreed. I agree. I like the Snakes. I just got weird vibes about it. I don't know why. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. I think it's because Arizona has just not respected coins all season.
Yeah.
Worries me a little bit.
For sure valid.
Worries me a little bit. Krabs, what about them Tiger Cats? We're so back. Madul, we literally gave you a standing ovation earlier. Let's fucking go, Madul. Sure we can. You must have missed it. Madul, you're him. Appreciate you, Beast. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. I want to make sure we end on time today. We get the third stream starting up right after this. Excited to go on there and give you guys a winner and close out, close out the month strong and try to go 10-0 this month on the third stream. Knock on woods. Surely that goes well after bringing it up all day today. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, for now, we got some work to do. We got to bounce back after a squad ride L with the PLL play the Archers on Friday. Let's lock in. Let's find a winner. Gucci, do me a favor. Run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. All right. Let's lock in, Jovan. Let's cash the squad ride for tonight. We honestly have a decent amount of options.
We do.
On a limited slate. We do. So let's take a peep. See what we're working with over here. Gosh, man. We got a couple plays in the same games. That's okay.
I feel like that first 500 is just
I love it.
Prime Krabs.
Put it in
mistake to not put that in the poll.
Put it in there. Do you want to go Reds ML then instead of the under in that game?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys want to plus chicken play, Reds ML, we'll put them in there. What about the Rangers? And what about the Snakes?
Could be so down for a boots on ground Rangers. A boots on ground fuck Goots.
Boots on ground, fade Goots on ground? That should go well.
Unbelievable.
Oh. I don't like those vibes, but we'll put it in there. I do love the play.
I'm telling you, be careful with Reds. Crochet will dominate today. Yes, Crochet is a good pitcher. We know that.
Yeah, a baby could
thank you
think
for reinventing the wheel with that one.
I'm not doing a good enough job teaching these guys up. Sade, you're him. Blessing up Tyus with a subby. Sade, let's fucking go, dudes. All right, let's run this poll for 3 minutes. Let's go 3 plays, 3 winners. Let's go Cardinals, Pirates, first 5, under 4.5. Let's go Reds ML. Let's go Rangers, first 5, money line. Jovan, if I was doing my job and teaching these kids up, teaching these people up in the chats, they would not be dropping chats like that with the crochet thing. So I take the blame. That's on me. Need to be better. Need to teach you guys up. Guys, it's not as simple as just looking at the stats of these guys and betting accordingly. If it was, we'd all have the feet kicked up. We'd be retired. The sports books would be bankrupt. The reason we love sports so much is because crochet doesn't go out there and shove every single start. God, that'd be so boring. If every single time you went out there and pitched, you got a guaranteed win. Why even watch the games?
Even if you did tonight, they're A, minus 180. B, the total is 7.5. And we're talking about a lower scoring game. So multiple things can be true. No shit.
Sade, you're him again. Appreciate you. You always come in here giving out subbies like every single day for the last couple of weeks. I respect you. I appreciate you. You're a beast. You're a beast. Krabs, thoughts on Chase Burns? More than half a walk on Prize Picks?
It's probably
yeah, it's got to be. Joshy, it's not that weird of a square because he's only made 1 start. I mean, sure, he's probably going to walk somebody, but he didn't in that last start. So I don't know. I would not feel too comfortable with that. Can we get some votes in for the squad ride poll? Please get involved. 3 plays, 3 winners. Coop Eagle says the most BTL poll possible. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Bananas, more tickets sold at Nats Park than the Nats. Dead Larry Bird, it's not even close. It's not even close. Now, to be fair, it happens at a lot of the parks they go to, but yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Get those votes in chat. 3 plays, 3 winners. Reds ML, Rangers first 5 ML, and the Cardinals, Pirates first 5, under 4.5. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Get those votes in. You got 1 minute left. And we are blessed with a surge stream right after this to start out the week strong. Make sure you guys stick around. Get those sell jobs ready and give Trent a play he simply cannot refuse to tail. Okay? I know you guys got it in you. All right? Get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Looks like we're getting some first 5 under respect for the first time this season. Okay? All right. But you're still walking to the slaughterhouse knowingly. Better hope Sox bullpen blows it, or that's a straight donation. This guy just won't give it up as he has a Red Sox logo. Gosh, man. I wish I was that naive, Jovan, man. Life would be so simple, wouldn't it?
I mean, like he's yelling about a minus 180. Like, no shit, the minus 180 team is better with a better pitcher on the mound. We're aware. You don't gotta tell us.
A baby can set up.
Yeah.
We got Kyle Hoove coming in resubbing. Love you, boys. Kyle Hoove, we love you too, my man. W support. Appreciate you, Beast. All right. Squad ride, first 5, under 4.5. Let's make a deal. Real quick before we get to the surge stream for our guy, These Dated Monkeys. If the Red Sox lose this game tonight, you are not allowed to chat for 2 weeks. If they win, I will stand up here tomorrow and I will apologize and I will say you were right and you were him. And I'm back at a plus 140 side in that scenario. So good luck. Deal. We'll see how that plays out tomorrow. Okay, that's how confident I am in Jovan in that play.
Wow.
All right.
Go to
Use squad ride, Jovan. Cardinals, Pirates, first 5, under 4.5. W play and W surge stream starting up right after this. I appreciate all you guys watching. W Monday stream. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. We'll be.